This is the second and final part of the Southside Strangler, a serial killer who had caused so much pandemonium in a community in Richmond. On 8 December, Richmond police received a message from Arlington County in Virginia, 160 kilometers away, that Susan Tucker, 44, had been found dead. She was found face down in bed, hands tied behind her back with a rope that was also looped around her neck. This was just 5 days after the murder of Deanne Cho. She had been raped and strangled. Ray Williams then contacted the Arlington Police Department and learned that there were 9 unsolved rape cases in that area. These rape cases had taken place between June 27, 1983 and January 25, 1984. The attacks were committed by a black person wearing a ski mask and gloves. He was also said to be carrying a knife. His first reaction was that the rapes were related to the Richmond murders. Ray Williams reported this to the FBI. In late December, the FBI told Ray Williams to look for a man who had been in prison before the Arlington rapes began, and then back in after the rape stopped. The same man would have been released just before the first Richmond murder took place. It made a lot of sense. Williams, the FBI said, should look for a man who raped his victims close to where he stayed. He stayed around Auckland Street or thereabout in Arlington. A computer list revealed a character known as Timothy Wilson Spencer, a black man who had worried police when he was a juvenile. What worried Williams most was that only one black man had ever been convicted of a serial murder in the United States. He didn't abandon the other suspects. In the meantime, Arlington Detective Joseph Hogarth was assigned to investigate the Susan Tucker murder. He recalled dealing with a juvenile offender, Tim Spencer, in 1983. He found that Spencer had been released from prison on 23 May 1983, 1 month before the first rape in Arlington. He had been sent back to prison on 29 January 1984, this time 4 days after the last rape case. It was for burglary. He was transferred to a halfway house within 3 kilometers of the homes of Helms, Davis, and Cho. August phoned Williams. Spencer had been indicted for murder. On 20 January, August left for Richmond to arrest the suspect for the murder of Susan Tucker. He took him to Arlington together with Ray Williams and Glenn Williams. 3 days later, 2 Richmond detectives went to Spencer's lodging. In his room, which was number 8, and printed on his mattress were the words, "I hope," and a figure 8. It was more than a coincidence. The whole case hinged on DNA results, Williams thought. The same man had killed Debbie Davis, Susan Helms, and Deanne Cho. Spencer's samples were sent to life courts, and Spencer's DNA was a perfect match. It was now up to the judge to admit the new kind of evidence. Never before had this been allowed. The judge, however, allowed it. This was a step towards final justice for the victims. In all 4 cases, he was sentenced to die by electrocution in Virginia. His final conviction brought a feeling of accomplishment to Detective Ray Williams. He said, "The search for the strangler had consumed him. I don't think I'll ever get over it." The use of DNA and the development of the data bank thereafter helped the American Justice Administration to catch criminals faster using DNA. DNA is a unique genetic code for every individual, a landmark in the investigation, prosecution, and bringing to book of criminals using their specific DNA. Thank you for watching this episode of Luminous Recaps. We meet in the next installment. It is bye for now.